Hey folks, I decided to take a little trip down to one of the biggest dealers in the country, State 8 Motorcycle and ATV, and trade in my 2011 Honda CBR 250R for a new 600 inline 4 bike. I'll let you figure out which bike I purchased. We'll start it off here with a 2007 Suzuki Gsxr 600, and it has about 4,500 miles and almost in excellent shape from what I can tell, no scratches or anything. Here we have a 2008 CBR 600RR with about 9,100 miles, and it has the Two Brothers exhaust slip-on, and it has a fender eliminator kit, the flush front signals, and it has a tinted windscreen and a couple of other things. Pretty sharp looking bike. Does have aftermarket fairings though, and a little scrape on the bar end. We have here an R1, Yamaha R1. Nice looking bike. Okay, and we have the new 2012 Suzuki Gsxr 600. And it's the 600 and the 750 next to each other. On the left is a 600 and the right is a 750. Pretty much they look identical. I don't really care for this design, in person as much as I did, in the magazines. I don't really care for that front headlight that much. But it's a nice bike, I'm sure. Okay, and we have the R6. I don't know what year this is. I'd assume it's one of the newer models. And I know this happens to be a 2012 CBR 1000, which has been redesigned. Awesome bike, but too much for the street. That's more for a track expert. Then you got the Hayabusa. I don't really care for those. To me, it's an ugly bike, but I don't know. A lot of people love them. And we got the showroom here. Lot of hot bikes. And we have the Honda NC 700, which I had considered. Pretty nice looking bike. Doesn't provide much wind protection though. Okay, and we have here the Aprilia Rsv4, which retails for roughly about $17,000. Really good looking bike. And I hear a lot about Aprilia, but I don't know much about this bike. But it sure is a good looking bike. $17,000 is a lot of money though. You can probably almost get a Ducati for maybe a few thousand more, if not the same price. We have here one of the newer models of the Honda Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R. Pretty good looking bike. And I don't know who this chopper is made by, but it sure is a good looking chopper. I'd love to be able to cruise one of these. So, which bike do you think I bought? Take a wild guess. I chose the 2008 Honda CBR 600RR with 9,198 miles on the clock. They gave me $3,500 for my 2011 Honda CBR 250R for a trade-in, and I paid $3,800 cash out the door. It was between the '07 Gsxr 600 with 4,500 miles. Beautiful bike, by the way. It didn't have a scrape on the bar end or anything. May have not been dropped. I don't know. But the and the 2008 Honda CBR 600RR. I chose the CBR 600RR because when I sat on the bike, I felt instantly comfortable on the bike, just like I did on the 250R. It felt very similar to the 250R, except for the 600's a little bit wider, of course, and you sit just a little bit more forward. But it's all in all a comfortable bike, and I felt confident like I can hit the twisties on this bike, just like I did on the 250R. I mean, and I've always been enamored with Honda CBRs. Ever since my brother, back in the 90s, he had a 94 Fireblade 900RR, CBR 900RR, and that was an awesome bike. And ever since then, I've been a fan of their bikes, and I've heard so much about the reliability on their bikes. I mean, there's a dude on YouTube with a CBR 600 F4i with like over 130,000 miles. I mean, these bikes will last a long time as long as you maintain them right and treat them right. And this bike, it looked, I inspected the engine and all, and it looked like it had been treated right. It may have been dropped, probably was, with the scrape on the bar end and on the brake lever. I didn't notice any other, it looked flawless everywhere else. It did have the aftermarket fairings. I know after I purchased the bike, I feel sick about it now because I could have used it as a bargaining tool, actually, because my understanding, the OEM fairings are a hell of a lot more expensive than these fairings are on here. I mean, you're talking about over $2,000 for OEM fairings. But, you live and learn. I made a mistake with that, But the deal was they gave me $3,500 on the 2011 CBR 250R, and I paid $3,800 cash out the door. We agreed on the price of, $6,500 for the bike. Plus taxes, and then their $195 dock fee or whatever. Yeah, I probably got taken for a little bit of money, because my mind, I really wanted to get on a 600 so bad that it clouded my judgment. Yeah, I probably screwed up, but you know what? It pays to go to a dealer, in my opinion. You pay a little bit more, but you get that peace of mind. You do get a 30-day warranty at State 8 on their used bikes. And I mean, and it's the third largest dealer in the country and one of the most renowned dealers around the country. So I mean, they have a lot of reputation to go by. And if this bike turns out to have any problems, believe me, man, I'm gonna be in that dealership harassing them. With the private seller on Craigslist or whatever in the newspaper, you get a crap bike, man, you're screwed, because they'll disappear like a ghost. And I wasn't willing to risk that. I'd even rather, pay an extra $1,000 just to have a peace of mind. I'd rather pay extra $1,000 and have a peace of mind than to get a piece of crap bike and have to hunt down the private seller and try to take him to court and go through all that mess. So I don't know. I feel like I made a decent decision. I just feel like I got screwed for a little bit of money. I could have brought him down. But, that was my ignorance, and, you live and learn. But, next time I'll be better on the next bike that I bargained for, which will probably be a brand new CBR 600RR in the future. But until then, I'm going to enjoy this bike, man. It rides awesome, sounds awesome. It's got all the aftermarket accessories that I was going to purchase. Got like over $800 in aftermarket mods on it. And the Two Brothers slip-on alone is like $500, and that's the first thing I would have bought for a CBR 600RR, just because I love that sound. And then you got the fender eliminator kit, you've got the flush signal mounts, and if I had to do it over again, I would have tried to get this bike for $5,500 out the door. I think that's a reasonable price, because it has the Chinese fairings on it, and it probably was dropped because of the scrape on the bar end and the brake lever. So you figure I got screwed out of about $1,000. But hey, then again, I got $3,500 for my bike, as where other dealers are only going to give me $2,500. So I probably would have been better off just waiting until next year and trying to sell my bike on Craigslist, and then purchasing something off of Craigslist or wheeling a dealer down during the off season. But like I said, I'm skeptical of purchasing from private sellers, just because I've heard of a few horror stories, and a lot of those guys have danged up bikes that they're trying to hide. And you know, and like I said, I get a warranty with this bike for 30 days, and they stand behind their products. Like I said, it's a renowned dealership. So all in all, you know, I just hope and pray that, you know, everything is good. So far, I love the bike. It rides beautifully. It sounds awesome. And that's all really that counts, man. I'm having a good time on this 600. Man, I'll tell you, it is awesome. It is, oh my God, man. The experience is so different from that of the CBR 250R. The power is man, it's just snap your head back power, boy. I love it. I tell you, I love this bike. This is all I need is a 600RR. Like I said, in the future, I'm going to get a brand new CBR 600RR. But until then, I'm waiting for the redesign on the bike. But as soon as they redesign it, you know, after probably a year or so, I'll probably look for a good deal on a previous year model. All right, go ahead and lay it down with the comments and let me know. I know, you know, I probably got a bad deal, but hey, it is what it is. Until next time, folks.